Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Cooper and welcome back to SIS Film Breakdowns. The next player we're going to feature is Baylor wide receiver Denzel Mims. A first-team All-Big 12 performer in 2019, Mims finished with 1,020 yards and 12 touchdowns on 66 receptions. He finished his career with 2,925 receiving yards, a number that ranks 6th in school history, and his 28 touchdowns ranks 3rd. The New York Jets drafted him in the 2nd round with the 59th overall pick. At the Combine, Mims measured in at 6 feet 2 7/8 inches, 207 pounds. He performed really well in drills by running the 40 at 4.38, the 3-cone at 6.66, and jumping 38.5 inches in the vertical and 10 feet 11 inches in the broad. As we'll see in this breakdown, a lot of those numbers translate to the field. Let's take a look at his games against Iowa State, Texas Tech, West Virginia, TCU, and Texas to see how. The first play comes from the Texas Tech game. He's lined up as a single receiver to the left of the formation. Baylor is down by 3 late in the 4th quarter here, driving down to tie the game. Now at the snap, Mims is quick off the line, and once he approaches the corner, gives some stutters before releasing outside to the fade. Even though he's on top of the defender here, the quarterback throws the back shoulder. Mims is able to stop and adjust to the ball being thrown behind and shows outstanding awareness here to stay in bounds. Now on the tight angle, we can see his body control, how he's basically hovering a foot or two out of bounds as he catches the ball, but he knows where he's at on the field to get his feet down in bounds to move the chains and continue the drive. Now let's take a look at the TCU game. He's again lined up as the only wide receiver out to the left of the formation. Being inside the 5-yard line here, Mims is going to run a goal line fade. Now off the line, he's able to use his body in size to get position on the defender. As the ball comes in, he goes up and high points the ball over the defender for a great catch and a touchdown. Now we're going to take a look at a double move from the Iowa State game. He's tightened up his split on the left side to give himself a little more room to run an out and up. Now off the ball here, he shows good burst and acceleration off the line, does a good job selling the out before getting upfield using his speed. Now he's gaining separation with that speed here, but does use a little subtle offhand around the 40-yard line to gain just a little extra. With the defender getting back in phase just as the ball approaches, Mims does a good job going up using strong hands to hold onto the ball for a big gain. Mims put up good numbers each of the last 3 years, but something stands out when taking a closer look. The percentage of his yardage that came through the air increased each season from 60% in 2017 to over 80% in 2019. His average depth of target also increased each season from 12.8 in 2017 to 14.1 last season. The numbers we just saw suggest he's become a better and more efficient target down the field. Now if we look at his numbers just on vertical routes and double moves in 2019, he was able to haul in 10 of 12 on-target passes for 263 yards, with half of those receptions resulting in him finding the end zone. Now let's move on to the West Virginia game. He's lined up to the left side yet again. This time he's going to run a deep out and break it at 15 yards. Now with the defender just in front of him coming on the blitz, Mims gets a free release and quickly gets into his route. He does a good job at the top of the route, sticking his foot in the ground with quickness. The defender tries to undercut the route, but misses, and Mims is able to keep concentration to make the catch and then still have the awareness of where he's at on the field to stay in bounds. When we take a look at the tight copy, we can really see Mims go up and meet the ball while staying in bounds to move the chains. Let's go back to the Iowa State game now. This time he's lined up as the number 1 in the trips to the left. Now at the snap, he veers in a bit and curls up around 6 yards. And with the ball thrown away from the defender to the outside, Mims has to adjust and completely turn his body back around to make the grab of the off-target throw. This is another really good example of his catch radius in order to get the first down. Now let's move on to the Texas game. He's now down at the bottom of the screen as the number 1 to the right of the formation. The defense jumps here, giving Baylor a free play, and Mims gets slightly rerouted off the line, getting pushed a little close to the sideline, but shows good strength to stay in bounds. Now with the defender over the top, the quarterback throws the back shoulder, and even with the defender all over him, he's still able to gain just enough separation here and get his arms free to reach back and adjust to the throw for a great catch. Now on the tight angle, we get a really good look at him reaching back and hauling in the pass for 4th down conversion, and another outstanding example of his catch radius here. Going back to the West Virginia game now, Mims is down at the bottom of the screen as a solo receiver to the right. Now he runs a deep slant, and with another throw being way behind and off target, Mims shows good body control here to adjust to the throw and make the catch with strong hands and get upfield for a solid gain and another 1st down. Those were just a few examples of Mims' best trait, his catch radius. In 2019, when looking at balls that were catchable but thrown outside of his frame, forcing him to make some sort of adjustment, he caught 7 of 10 passes for over 100 yards and a score. Now let's look at him running routes while being manned up. This play is from the TCU game, and he's lined up at the top of the screen as the single receiver to the left. At the snap, Mims uses good strength to get into his route and then uses his offhand at the top of the route to create separation. He once again reaches up to snatch the ball out of the air for a great catch and then walks into the end zone for the touchdown. The tight copy gives a good look at his strong hands, snatching the ball out of the air and taking it in for the score. The final play comes from the game against West Virginia and looks similar to the last one. He's at the top of the screen and is going to run another slant. Now off the snap, Mims levels up the defender who is taking him, and at the top of the route gives a hard jab to the outside, which freezes the defender, allowing Mims to get wide open across the middle. Not having to make a crazy catch this time, Mims is able to make the easy catch and goes in for another touchdown. We've now seen his ability to win at the top of routes against man coverage, and when we take a look back at his positive play rates against man coverage from the last few seasons, we can see the progression he's made from 2017 until now. After recording a positive play only 42% of the time in 2017, he boosted that number to 53% in 2018, and then again in 2019 up to 62%. We just saw what Mims has done against man coverage, and now that he's in the AFC East, he's going to be seeing a lot more each year. In 2019, Jets receivers struggled to produce against man coverage, putting up just 5.3 yards per target and 10.7 yards per reception, both of which ranked last in the NFL. When looking at the other 3 teams in the division, they play a lot of man coverage as part of their defensive schemes. The Patriots played the 2nd most man coverage snaps and allowed just the 5th fewest yards per attempt. The Dolphins played the 3rd most man snaps but allowed the 11th most yards per attempt. Finally, the Bills were 22nd in man snaps, however, they ranked 2nd in yards per attempt. The Jets receiver room is young, and they were in desperate need of a playmaker who can win against man coverage. Look for Mims to come in and produce in a big way early on. Mims needs to improve his overall route precision and be more consistent hauling in contested catch opportunities, but his length, catch radius, and physicality should allow him to become a dependable target and make some big-time plays for Sam Darnold and the Jets offense. Make sure to go get the SIS Football Rookie Handbook or register for a free trial on the SIS DataHub to see all of these stats and more for every player, and also tune in each week to the Off the Charts podcast. Thanks for watching SIS Film Breakdowns.